Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Thank you very much, Olmec. My name is Laughing Car and welcome to Legends of the Hidden Temple. The rooms are filled with lost treasures guarded by mysterious Mayan temple guards. Only one team will be able to enter the temple for a chance to retrieve the subject of today's legend, the phantom portrait of Henry Ravenswood. Which team will it be? Will it be the Red Jaguars, the Blue Barracudas, the Green Monkeys, the Purple Parrots, or the Silver Snakes? But before any of them will have the chance to enter the temple, they must first cross the moat, and here's how they will do it today. When I say to begin, they must jump from their side of the moat to try and reach the chest. If they can successfully open it, they must grab the oak planks inside and swim back to their side of the moat. From there, they can bridge to the other side to press the button to ring their team's gong. The first 4 teams to ring their gong will move on to the next round and be one step closer to entering the temple. Alright, teams, on your mark. Get set, go! Alright, let's see who's gonna do it first. Green Monkeys made the first jump, didn't quite make it. Oh, Purple Parrots made it already, and so the Silver Snakes. They've got the oak planks, they're swimming back to begin the bridge. Now, because you are bridging on slabs, you can't go directly on top of the slab. You do have to go from kind of an angle. Looks like the Red Jaguars made it in the back. They seem to be bridging. Purple Parrots and Red Jaguars side by side. I'm not sure who's gonna get to their gong first. It's a close one. It looks like the Purple Parrots did it. Oh, but the Red Jaguars close behind. We have 2 spots left. Who is going to the Steps of Knowledge? Silver Snakes beginning on their bridge. Blue Barracudas trying to cross on Reds. That's not okay. They gotta go back, but it looks like they have the planks, so they are able to bridge. Silver Snakes got in, and the Blue Barracudas making their bridge right now. Green Monkeys, you gotta keep going. What are you doing? Blue Barracudas made it. That's our last spot, which means that moving on to the Steps of Knowledge is the Red Jaguars, the Blue Barracudas, the Purple Parrots, and the Silver Snakes. Congratulations, you're moving on to the Steps of Knowledge, which means it's time for you to reach the legend of the phantom portrait of Henry Ravenswood. But pay attention, because your knowledge of the legend could bring you one step closer to the temple. When you walked into Ravenswood Manor, you'd be greeted by what appeared to be a painting of a proud man standing next to his beloved daughter. However, the story behind it is much sadder and much darker. The man is Henry Ravenswood, the wealthy founder of the Big Thunder Mining Company. His daughter, Melanie, had recently become of age to find a suitor. Unfortunately for Melanie, her father was very protective of her, and if she was getting too close to a man, he'd take that man out of her life by any means necessary, even ending their lives. Melanie didn't know that he was behind the untimely death of her lovers, and grew more and more desperate to find a man. Melanie would get engaged to a railroad engineer named Jake Evans. The two planned to leave the mining town behind to be with each other, but when Henry found out, he was not happy. He planned to end Evans' life like all the other men before him, but before he could, an earthquake shook the town, causing mass damage and killing Henry Ravenswood. After the manor had been repaired, and with her father gone, Melanie decided to go forward with marrying Jake, and the two planned to be wed in the house's grand ballroom. The night of the wedding, though, the groom never made it. Melanie insisted that he would still show up, even as guests started to leave. To this day, nobody knows for sure what happened to Jake, and if somehow, even after death, Henry Ravenswood is responsible for the groom's disappearance. We may never know for sure, but we do know the portrait that once hung at the entrance of the house was thrown out after the earthquake, where it somehow found its way into the temple. Your goal is to find the portrait of Henry Ravenswood and bring it back here. Now you are standing on the Steps of Knowledge, and in front of you is a pressure plate. I'm going to ask a multiple choice question about the legend I just read. If you think you know the answer, stop down to the pressure plate. Go ahead, try it out. Okay, Blue Barracudas buzzed in first, which means that they would get to answer with option A, B, or C. If they are correct, they move on to the next level, but if they're wrong, then another team will get the opportunity to answer. Alright teams, here you go. Question number 1. What is the name of the Ravenswood's house? Is it A, Ravenswood Mansion, B, Ravenswood Manor, Blue Barracudas? Oh, Purple Parrots, don't answer. You don't want to give it away to the other person. We need an answer, Blue Barracudas. Gotta hurry up, or we're gonna go to someone else. Make sure you put it in your offhand. A, B, or C. You're going with B, Olmec.
That is correct.
Alright, you're on to the next level. Next question. What did Henry's daughter think had happened when the groom didn't show up? Was it A, he'd left for another woman, B, he died, or C, he would still show up? Red Jaguars? You're gonna go with option C, Olmec.
That is correct.
Nice going, Red Jaguars. You're moving on to the next level. You're now tied with the Blue Barracudas, and we are on to the next question. What was the name of Henry's daughter? Was it A, Jessica, B, Melanie, or C, Constance? Blue Barracudas? You buzzed in. You gotta answer. A, B, or C? You're going with A, Jessica, Olmec.
Incorrect.
Oh, so sorry, that isn't correct. Anybody else want to answer? Red Jaguars. You're going with option C, Constance, Olmec. Is that the right answer?
Incorrect.
Oh, the correct answer is actually B, Melanie. So no one's going on to the next level, which means that we are going to be doing another question. What was the name of the mining company Henry Ravenswood founded? Was it A, the Tumbleweed Mining Company, B, the Big Thunder Mining Company, Blue Barracudas? If you buzz in, you have to answer. I'm gonna need an answer, Blue Barracudas. Need something. Okay, you're going with C, Olmec.
Incorrect.
Oh, so sorry. Let me finish reading the options. A, the Tumbleweed Mining Company. B, the Red Jaguars. B, Big Thunder Mining Company. Olmec, is that right?
That is correct.
Nice work, Red Jaguars. You're on the last level. One more correct answer. You're moving on to the Temple Games. Next question. What job did Melanie's fiance have? Was it A, a railroad engineer? B, a miner for Purple Parrots? A, a railroad engineer. Olmec.
That is correct.
Nice work, Purple Parrots. You're moving on to the next layer. Let's go to the next question. What caused the death of Henry Ravenswood? Was it A, an earthquake, B, a flood, Blue Barracudas? Going with A, an earthquake. Olmec.
That is correct.
Nice work, Blue Barracudas. You are now tied with the Red Jaguars. Let's see if either of you two are moving on to the Temple Games. Next question. Who is the man in the portrait? Is it A, one of Melanie's loves, B, Jake Evans, or C, Henry Ravenswood? Silver Snakes. Gotta put it in your offhand. C, Henry Ravenswood. Olmec.
That is correct.
Nice work, Silver Snakes. You're moving on to the next level. You are currently tied with the Purple Parrots. Steps of knowledge are very close right now as we go on to the next question. Where was the wedding of Melanie and Jake supposed to take place? Was it A, a nearby chapel, B, the ballroom of the manor, or C, a grand paddle wheel? Blue Barracudas? Going with B, the ballroom of the manor. Olmec.
That is correct.
Congratulations, Blue Barracudas. You're moving on to the Temple Games. But we still have one spot left. Let's see which other team is going to be moving on. Next question, what happened to Jake the night at the wedding? Was it A, he disappeared, B, he was seen leaving town, or C, Purple Parrots? A, he disappeared. Olmec.
That is correct.
And we are once again tied on the Steps of Knowledge. If the Red Jaguars get it right, they move on to the Temple Games. If the Purple Parrots get it right, they move on to the Temple Games. If the Silver Snakes gets it right, then we're going to have a three-way tie to see which team will be moving on. Let's find out. Next question, what happened to the portrait after the earthquake? Was it A, repaired, B, moved, or C, Silver Snakes? We need an answer. No pressure. B, it was moved. Olmec.
Incorrect.
Oh, incorrect. Anybody else want to steal it? The options were A, Red Jaguars. Oh, you're going with C. It was thrown out. Olmec.
That is correct.
We have our two teams moving on to the Temple Games. It is the Red Jaguars and the Blue Barracudas. Congratulations. Wow, that was close. We don't have time to dwell on that. We gotta move on. It's time for the Temple Games, and it goes something like this. In the Temple Games, our two teams are going to be competing for Pendants of Life, which will keep them safe from the dreaded Temple Guards once they are inside the temple. There are 3 Temple Games. The first 2 are for half a pendant, and the third is for 1 full pendant. The team with the most pendants at the end of all 3 Temple Games moves on to the temple. In the legend, Melanie had 4 different suitors, all of which were taken out of her life by her controlling father. Of course, after each death, the men's body would be buried at the town cemetery. In our first Temple Game, you're going to help to finish burying Melanie's lost loves by placing blocks in their graves. When I say to begin, you'll take a piece of podzol out of your chest and run over to place it in the grave. Then run back and do it again. The first team to fill all 4 graves, or the team with more blocks placed at the end of the 1-minute timer, will win a half pendant. Alright, 1 minute on the clock. On your mark, get set, go! Open those chests and grab the podzol, and then run over to the graves. It's pretty simple, but you're gonna have slowness as you go through the soul sand. Okay, looks like each team has 1 in each grave. They're going back for their next one. Blue Barracuda's getting a bit of an earlier start. Ooh, Red Jaguar seems to be lagging. That's not going to do so good for them. Looks like each team has 2 right now. Blue Barracuda seems to be going a bit faster than the Red Jaguars, though. Ooh, it's going to be a close one. Because they're both tied now. But Blue Barracuda just seems to have a little edge over the Red Jaguars. They got it right at the start. They seem to be holding on to it. In fact, they seem to be pulling farther ahead. Red Jaguars can still catch up, though. If the timer runs out when they're both tied, then they both get a half pendant. Looks like the Red Jaguars have... Ooh, the Blue Barracudas misplaced one. This could be the Red Jaguars' chance to catch up. Red Jaguars, I don't think they placed one that time. They're going to place another. The Red Jaguars misplaced one too. The Blue Barracudas are currently leading by 2 Podzol blocks. I don't know if the Red Jaguars are going to be able to catch up. Doesn't look like it. I don't think the Blue Barracudas can get their 8th in, but it doesn't matter. The Blue Barracudas finished with 7. Red Jaguars finished with 5. That means that the Blue Barracudas have just won the first half pendant. Now, when the groom didn't show up to Melanie's wedding, she ran up to the manor's attic, still in her wedding dress, to get away from the celebration and to contemplate what could have happened. In our next temple game, you're going to be running through the manor's attic to put the pieces of her wedding dress on the armor stand. First, take a piece out of the barrel, run through the messy attic to make it to the armor stand, then put the piece on it. Once you've got a piece on, run back and grab the next one. The first team to get all 3 pieces on will receive the second half pendant. No timer for this game. On your mark, get set, go! Take your first piece out of the barrel and run through the attic. Blue Barracuda seems to be getting off to the start a bit sooner than the Red Jaguars, but the Red Jaguars are close behind, but getting caught in some cobwebs, which is going to slow them down. They did both go over the bed at the same time, though, so it could be anyone. Looks like the Blue Barracudas got their first piece on the pants a bit sooner than the Red Jaguars got theirs, but they're both walking back at about the same speed, but it looks like the Red Jaguars did get caught in some webs, slowing them down. Blue Barracuda is beginning the return, the next journey. Red Jaguars just now opening the barrel. Ooh, this is going to be bad for the Red Jaguars. Blue Barracudas are pulling way ahead as the Red Jaguars are getting caught in more cobwebs. Blue Barracudas are about to put their next piece on. They've just done it. Red Jaguars, now they've got their next piece on. Blue Barracudas running back. Red Jaguars now beginning the run back. Blue Barracudas get caught in some webs. Oh, get caught in more webs. Opening the barrel. Beginning the journey. Red Jaguars. Oh, Blue Barracudas got caught again. Red Jaguars. This could be the Red Jaguars' chance. They are neck and neck as they go with each with their final piece. Blue Barracudas navigating through. I don't know who's going to do it. Oh, so close, but the Blue Barracudas barely beat out the Red Jaguars. Blue Barracudas won another half pendant, but this final temple game could change everything. For our final temple game, you're going to be piecing together a giant version of today's lost item, the portrait of Henry and Melanie in Ravenswood. When I say to begin, take the pieces out of your chest and begin placing them in the frame. If you think a piece is placed incorrectly, you can break it and put it somewhere else. The first team to finish, or the team farthest along when the timer runs out, will receive a full pendant of life. This game is very important. If the Red Jaguars win, then that ties it up, each with a full pendant, and we go to a tiebreaker. If the Blue Barracudas win, they go to the temple with 2 pendants. Let's find out who's going to win it. On your mark, get set, go! Now the teams have a minute. We're going to see which team gets more accurate in that minute. We did a very similar game to this. In fact, basically the same game with a different portrait back in episode 2. In fact, the person on the Red Jaguars, Romeister, actually was in that temple game. So we're going to see if he does better or worse than he did that time. Right now, they both seem to be struggling. This game proved to be very difficult last time. Blue Barracudas looks like it's got the right 2 pieces, but they seem to be 1 block too low. Red Jaguars doesn't seem very confident in many piece placements. They seem to keep breaking them. Red Jaguars looking back in their chest. Blue Barracudas getting second thoughts on that piece. I think that piece on the Red Jaguars head is correct, though, in the middle. Let's see. Oh, they got another correct piece. Oh, Blue Barracudas, I think, is noticing their mistake. Yeah, there they go. They're trying to break the blocks they already did. Red Jaguars. Ooh, 1 to the side. You can see the painting on the side there, how it's supposed to look. There you go. All right. Red Jaguars already has 3 pieces in the correct spot. Blue Barracudas seems to be kind of giving up as the timer runs out, and that is time. Red Jaguars has, I believe, 5 pieces in the correct spot. I don't even know how many Blue Barracudas has, but it's nowhere near 5, which means the Red Jaguars have won a full pendant, making the score tied, which means we're going to have to break that tie. Here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to ask one final multiple choice question. First team to buzz in gets to answer. If they're correct, they move on. If they are incorrect, then the other team moves on. All right, here's your question. What is the first name of Melanie's last fiancé? Is it A, Robert, B, Jake, or Blue Barracudas? This will decide if you are moving on or not. You are answering B, Jake, which is in fact the correct answer. Congratulations, Blue Barracudas. You are moving on to Olmec's Temple. Now, Blue Barracudas, throughout all the previous rounds, you have proven yourself worthy of entering the temple. But before you can begin, Olmec is going to tell you what you can expect once you are inside. Go ahead, Olmec.
You could start by running through the Cave of Sighs and climbing down into the Pit of Despair. Turn the wheel to lift the stone slab, then race into the Room of Harmonic Convergence. Stand on the right 2 steps, and you could choose to go up into the Heart Room, or into the Jester's Court. Press yourself against the right wall painting, and you might have a chance to enter the Tomb of Ancient Kings. Find the key, or plow through the wall and into the mine shaft. Ride the elevator up into the viper's nest and pull the snakes from the jars to open the door to the shrine of the silver monkey. Assemble the statue, and you may be headed into the room of the golden idols. Once there, push down on their bases to release the doors, which will allow you into the observatory. Spin the sundial and run across the troubled bridge. Then, pass through the room of the 3 gargoyles, race down the stairs and back through the temple gate. The choices are yours and yours alone. Good luck.
Thank you, Olmec. Now you will have 3 minutes to get into the temple, make your way to the Jester's Court where the portrait is located, and make your way back out. Now be careful because the temple has many locked doors and dead ends, which will make your path to the treasure more complicated. There are also temple guards tasked with protecting 3 specific rooms. If you enter a room with a temple guard, you will be forced to give up a pendant of life to go on. But if you are caught without a pendant, then you will be sent out of the temple. And if you are sent out of the temple twice, then your run is over. Now, if you do make your way all the way to the portrait, then all the temple guards will vanish and the doors will magically unlock. From there, you will just have the remaining time to get out of the temple without having to worry about any puzzles or any temple guards at all. Alright, nod if you understand. Alright, then let's put 3 minutes on the clock. Olmec, lower your gate. Remember, you're going to the Jester's Court. On your mark, get set, go! Head on up and let's see which way you're going. Looks like you're going to go up into the room of the 3 gargoyles. Which one's going to do it? Looks like that first one you did. Nice! Heading down the stairs and across the troubled bridge up to the observatory. Door opens right up, no big deal. Climbing up the ladder, gotta spin the celestial. Oh, temple guard! It's okay, you got 1 pendant. Unfortunately, that is your only pendant. If you encounter another temple guard, you're sent out. 1 more after that, then your run is over. Into the room of the golden idols. First button press seems to open the door into the shrine of the silver monkey. Heading in. Gotta put the monkey together. Let's see, you gotta get that base on first, then you gotta put the middle part on, then the head. First piece went on pretty smooth, second piece went on great. Final piece, can you do it? Looks, there you go, you got it. Heading up into the viper's nest, gotta ride the elevator down and into the mine shaft. Making great time already, only barely, you haven't even been in there a minute yet, and you're already almost to the treasure. Busting through the wall into the tomb of the ancient kings, and another temple guard is gonna send you back to the start of the temple. You gotta climb back through the room of the 3 gargoyles, going the same route you took before. I like that, saving you some time having to do new rooms you haven't done yet. Climbing up back through the observatory, almost where you left off. Not quite there yet, though. You gotta climb into the shrine of the silver monkey and up, ride the elevator back down. Now the elevator is gonna take up a bit more time, but hopefully it's still doable. You're almost there. You just gotta get into the Tomb of the Ancient Kings, grab the key, and hope it opens the right door. You gotta look behind, open the right door. Let's see, you got the key quite yet? Doesn't look like it's still looking. There you go, you got it. Put it in the right spot. Door opened. There's the portrait right in the front of the room. Grab it. There you go, you got it. All the doors have unlocked. You just gotta get out of there. You have 1:17. You're doing great. But now you gotta get out. Okay, through the room of harmonic convergence into the pit. You gotta go to the other side of the ladder. No. You gotta go around. No, not through there. No, okay, not behind the wheel. No, you gotta go around the ladder through the front. Okay, just go another way. You can still get there if you use the observatory route. Oh, you don't have to go all the way back. Yeah. Go up there, head up to the observatory, or I guess you can go through the heart room. Then go up the ladder. You have 46 seconds left. Plenty of time. You gotta go around the other way. You're almost there. You're doing great. You just gotta climb down and across the troubled bridge. You're gonna get out. There, you have 34 seconds left. Through the room of 3 gargoyles. You're gonna do it with the portrait. 27 seconds on the clock. The Blue Barracudas have made it out of the temple. Congratulations, you did it. That was amazing. You made it to that lost item super fast. Nice work. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. If you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment telling me any ideas you have for future legends. But for now, that's all we have time for. So long, everybody.